Lights on. We're so glad that you are here. We love you. Laura Lentz. This is the Laura Lentz podcast, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling?
Great.
Yeah?
Yep.
Anything on your mind you want to kick off with something special or?
Nope.
No?
Oh, it's my birthday this week.
Yeah, it is. It is your birthday. Now, when this podcast comes out, it could be past your birthday. You will be officially 47 years old.
47, almost 6'7".
Oh,
Shout out for my son, 6'7".
You are a relevant legend.
Anyone else got a child that is 6'7"ing around your house?
Yeah.
Please send me a DM and we can share our pain.
Yeah, it is tired and it is old.
It is.
But you do walk into those numbers quite often. Shout out to that weird generation for highlighting completely useless things that we just end up.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, don't even worry.
Thank God. We got a great episode for you. You look gorgeous today, by the way, love. I like your sweater.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, I like your T-shirt.
Did you just have to dig for a compliment?
No, just you got a nice fresh white T-shirt under you.
Are you saying that because you
It's
know
quite
that
snug.
you shrunk it? And I didn't know until I put it on. So I typically
You're
like to wear a
welcome.
large Hanes T-shirt. Get off my back. It is what it is. But I'm not going to bring up the fact that you did what I asked you not to do again, which is you just washed it and dried it.
Well,
You can't do
luckily they're pretty much, they come in a pack of 500.
Yeah, but they don't
so
feel the
you
same.
can just
They
wear
don't
it
feel
once
the
and
same.
throw it out.
But I don't want to do that. I just want you to not shrink it, which you say you do, and you do it every time.
But it's a Hanes. They're going to shrink.
You're evading the point. The principal question is you continually shrink. It's the kind of stuff I got to put up with to
My
make
kids
this
love it
marriage
too.
work.
Do your own laundry then.
Okay, fair.
Lights off.
Oh, too early.
End of the episode.
Before we get into the topic, let's just throw in an extra gem. We're gonna do a whole season of some topics that are gonna revolve around sex and what goes into it marriage-wise, because it's just an absolute horror show from what we are seeing. But we'll give you a freebie up front. It is a awesome thing to consider. Christian couple, non-Christian couple, they're already on this, but especially this is a shout out to all of our evangelical. I've been married since I was 20, married the man of my dreams. We're on this journey together. Have you considered seeing a sex therapist? Have you considered it? Here's why it's so huge and important. And it's been said, if sex in a marriage is going great, it's not that big of a deal. If it's not going great, it's the only deal that matters. Yeah. So when you start talking about infidelity and then sex again on the other side of it, it's super helpful to get some professional eyes in there. But even if you haven't gone through infidelity, my challenge to especially young Christian couples out there, is it awkward to talk about sex?
Right.
How vulnerable? What's the language used? What we find a lot is older Christian couples have had really bad sex lives in their marriage for a long time. And what you find when you start, digging is there's old religious trauma and baggage and thinking that is just insane. So you have a husband's on one page, a wife is on the other page. If they even try to talk about intimate things, that's disgusting. Well, you're this and you're that. And it's like, it leads to further disconnection.
Yeah. Lots of embarrassment. Or like shame that hasn't been dealt with, or they didn't even know where that came from. A lot of it is from bad teaching or like no teaching.
Or assumption because of no teaching.
Assumption, right. And so we were talking about it yesterday, is that I wonder how many couples would be willing to go to sex therapy.
Yeah.
Or is that even embarrassing
in the cards?
And bad?
Are you so proud that even the notion of it offends you?
I just think it could be a really cool thing for couples to start to consider, especially if you've exactly what you're saying, Christian couples who have come from that purity culture and aren't really taught anything. You're told sex is bad and then you get married and now it's good, but you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Or there's shame behind it, like the man has a porn addiction or whatever that she doesn't know about. She doesn't know how to have orgasms, like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do in those situations?
Yes.
Are you willing to get help?
And it's such a beautiful thing. If you can both get on the same page, it's dynamic. But here's our meter when we talk to couples about sex. We say, is your sex life thrilling?
Mm.
Which is, shout out to Jason Jaggert and the Novus crew. That word is such a dynamic word because it's underused. But most couples are like, well, no, it's fine.
Right.
This is
We have it.
the number one response from our experience talking to Christian couples, if they're honest, like, how's your sex life? I mean, it's fine. It's fine. if that is your tone about your sex life, it's not fine at all.
Yeah.
The goal, what if the goal was thrilling, exciting, very fun, getting better every day? Like
Right.
that can be your experience, but you need to get some help. So if you were to say to your wife, hey, are you interested in seeing a sex therapist? If her response is defensive, don't give up. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
So what would you say to the wife that's defensive about that?
I'd be like, why is that?
Relax.
Yeah. What is that feeling that's coming up?
Deeply insecure off the jump. And she
Yeah.
might have reasons for that.
Right.
But is she internalizing what? Because if I'm the husband and I say to you, hey, are you interested in seeing a sex therapist? It feels unsafe. Like,
Right.
what do you think that woman's thinking? Why is it such a big deal?
I think she just has a lot of things that haven't been talked about, or were things that not allowed to be talked about, or feels like that's bad or wrong or dirty or ill.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a Christian church, like Christian family, Christian everything. And it just wasn't talked about like that.
Mm-mm.
And so we had to do some real work in that area as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it doesn't have to be awkward. It doesn't have to be embarrassing.
We were very fortunate to have some really healthy, godly, wisdom around sexuality. And we obviously went through our stuff with me, but there were some beautiful traits that we were able to kind of thread through our marriage that have led to a really fruitful place in that regard, just of heavy intimacy. Yeah. Sex is a result of that. But it's funny because when I talk to guys, men who are honest and private, they're like, man, I want to have conversations with my wife, but if I do,
they're
and they
afraid
don't.
of, yeah.
And so here's what your husband's going to do. If you are closed off and you are not interested as a wife, he's going to keep moving. Not going to try. It's not going to be intentional. But one of the things you're going to happen is the disconnection will grow. Right. And sex goes from being this important thing to a anniversary thing. Like we have great sex 4 times a year. Right. You know, on the 4th of July, Christmas morning. It's like, Carl, no one's having sex on Christmas morning. But so they're just big hallmark moments. Like what if sex wasn't taboo for you? Why? And here's what's funny. If you're not a Christian, you go to a bar and you're sitting with your friends, there's a high probability that someone's going to have a casual, not even gross conversation about sex. You go to a typical Christian connect group or gathering. It's not like people are sitting around going, what works for y'all? What works for you? It's never good. I shouldn't say that. It's uncommon for that to happen. Yeah. So that's our plea. I know a lot of people who listen to our pod are either progressive Christians or people trying to figure out their faith. Add this to the pot of things to consider. Have you seen a sex therapist? So it was just something we were talking about yesterday. We're going to do a lot on it, but Lights On is proud to partner with God Behind Bars, restoring, rebuilding, reclaiming lives. If there's ever an organization for you to check out that you want to support, get involved with, if you want to see people come to life again when society has said life is over, this organization is for you. GodBehindBars.com. Check them out. There are ways to get involved, ways to give, ways to support. Maybe you'll even find that this is a passion for you to bring life to people who are literally behind bars, and you can make a difference today. So God Behind Bars, check them out online. We love partnering with them, and they could use you. Never know. Check it out today. Let's get into the goods about today. Letters from our readers. We got a letter we're going to read today. I'm glad you're here. I hope you've had a great day wherever you find yourself tuning in. We love you. We love doing this pod. And what we are really excited about is adding this feature because we get amazing feedback from people who watch the pod and listen to the pod. And a lot of my nightly ritual is to look over at you, shaking your head, crying, laughing at the DMs that you get. And some of them are so good and so sad and so complex that we're like, we've reached out to people personally when we can. I
Mhm.
mean, there's hundreds and hundreds, so it's harder to do, but yet we do it and it's great. And then once in a while we find one that I go, you know what? This is such a freaking theme. Let's bring it to the table. And so if you are listening today, we're going to hit some major themes and topics. So relationally, when it comes to how to get through some very hard betrayal stuff. We're talking about when church betrays you, when your family colludes against you, and how to distance yourself and heal when maybe you were in a situation where the family was enabling the affair. So it is a doozy, as some
Yes.
people like to say.
And I had to ask you the question, what does collusion mean? Because I
Yeah.
didn't know.
I mean, our working definition of collusion, and it's good if you are in the seat of the betrayer or the betrayed to understand some of these terms. Collusion is when somebody is working with another somebody and you're left on the outside looking in. They're actively colluding against you. So it's someone having an affair. 5 people knew about it and they didn't tell you, but yet they saw you. They acted like stuff was normal. The whole time they knew. That's called collusion,
Right.
where everybody's in on something except for that person.
Yeah.
So, and it is so freaking common that, you know, our heart goes out to people that are in that situation, and keep fighting. I think we have come to this conclusion when it comes to infidelity breakdowns. People don't know where to turn sometimes, and it just feels overwhelming. And the stuff that we get sometimes is really basic and simple, but it's constant, which means it just is a wasteland when you go through some of these crisis moments. We know that to be true.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. I want you to read this episode, love, or read this letter. And it's from an amazing listener. We did ask for permission to read it, and it changed details for privacy, but you'll relate to some of it. And I've chosen to ask my wife to read it due to her Australian accent, which is better for all of us.
Oh,
Go,
boy.
girl.
Okay. Hey, Laura, my name is, and my husband also cheated on me in ministry.
Also, it's like people got to throw that in.
He currently works for X, Y, and Z and had since he was let go at our mega church. Now an ex-church, and totally had the same surface relationships with people who never reached out to me. After he finally admitted to the full truth of their affair of 6 years with another pastor's wife, who was also a friend of mine. That's also a common theme. Best friend. Yeah. I just finished listening to your Lights On podcast that was aired in mid-August titled Why I Didn't Leave My Husband, My Cheating Husband. And I was wondering if you would be willing to expound upon you distancing yourself from his family that just scratched the surface. I went back just to be sure that I heard it correctly, but maybe I misunderstood. So if that's correct, just let me know. I'm in a challenging situation with my husband's family, and I'm trying to figure out how to move forward, and your story is quite similar to mine. We've both done lots of work, including intensive CSAT therapy, with IFS individual and marriage therapy, groups, all the podcasts, including yours, and books, etc. My husband's mother colluded and enabled his affair, and she actually developed a relationship with the partner and was feeding her information as I was figuring out what was going on for years. He now wants us to integrate back into his family, but his mother has yet to make appropriate repair with me. Also, his siblings blame me for his affair. So I'm the full villain in all of their narratives. We have kids and they have kids, so there is a cousin aspect as well to this to consider as well. Anyway, I wanted to find out if you would be willing to chat about your distancing yourself from Carl's family, as I feel super alone in this situation and I'm just not sure how to proceed.
That's heavy.
Well, firstly on that, separating ourselves from the family, I think we talked about it a little bit in that episode. It wasn't because of collusion or anything like that.
We just needed space.
It was just we needed space because we were trying to work out our decisions and our family. And when family is involved at all in any type of way, it can get confusing. It can get like overwhelming for you, especially the one that's been betrayed. And it can just be a lot of too many opinions or like needing to help them grieve the relationship as well, whatever, you know. So for us, we just made it wasn't for a
No, it
long
wasn't
time, and it
significant,
wasn't
but
crazy
yeah.
significant. It was just like for a little bit of time, we just needed some space and some quiet,
Mm.
so we could make some decisions and do some healing on our own. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to say that first off. But
Yeah, it's good. And unfortunately, this is not a rare story. It's a high risk context in ministry marriages. And so today is a deep act of compassion and a strategic guide, for women who are in that space and for men to understand what that space can look like from their angle. And I think this can save a lot of time and heartache because betrayal is a special kind of hard in ministry context. I mean, identity, calling, community, everything is kind of intertwined. And ministry adds a different kind of pressure, secrecy. But here's the thing that you find with infidelity in ministry couples: the desire to control the narrative is insane.
yeah,
So what often happens, and we've seen this a lot, is that people are robbed of true rebuilding. You fix enough to keep the job, but you don't actually fix the problem.
right.
And so the loser is always the wife.
Yep.
Always. So the betrayed woman has to not only carry the bag of being cheated on, but the humiliation of being, kind of pushed under, the lack of real repair, and then a giant expectation to get over it because I'm sorry and we got to keep leading and you kind of got to get your stuff together with no real help. And to me, you're never even allowed to get into it, but you're expected to get over it. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And if you relate to that, if you are in a ministry situation, and it happens so much to us, we read these things, we're like, what the freak are these people doing?
There's so
Like,
many.
My husband cheated on me. I found out. He said he was sorry. Nothing's been done. Three
Well, he
people
doesn't want to
know.
lose his
He
job.
doesn't want to lose his job. And they go down this whole train of very understandable things. But what's left in the middle is somebody who is now devastated, traumatized, and has this imprint of infidelity that must be like meticulously extracted.
And then there's no help for that person.
No help, no help, no help. So what we're going to do is we're going to speak generally to this. This is where we're going to go. And if you're friends with people going through stuff like this, definitely listen up because it's hugely important to know how to help. That's another key to this. But I think we came up with like some quick hitting things. If you find yourself in a situation where, here's the context, you have been betrayed and there's collusion all around you, you haven't got answers, you don't feel supported, and then you're expected to get over it, and you're the villain in this narrative, which is just unbelievably insulting to me. Here's what we think. Here's some ideas of what you can do to immediately change the circumstance. Number one, you got to immediately change your position in the scenario. So if you were betrayed, cheated on, lied to by family, and now you're the one on the outside looking in, that is outrageous. And that's what happens when you don't know what to do. You accept what people give you. So that's the first step, is to get your proper position. You want to speak to that, love? Because you definitely did this in real time. So when we say change your position, we're speaking to, you are no longer the victim that has to just carry stuff. You are now in power. So in your life, how did that work out for you? Because you've known what that feels like, to feel like, what am I supposed to do? And then some shift happened in you where you were like, I remember the day you shut up and you're like, I'm in control.
Yeah. I mean, I had really good help with this, and you were very helpful in this because you knew the responsibility and you took all, what you needed to take, but then you gave me full control as well in our situation.
Yeah. But
you have to figure out what you need and really feel grounded in that and stand on it. And so, I think it's really important to know what you need and get the right help and to tell your spouse what you're going to do and what you need from them.
And know it's healthy. So if we're the first people to tell you that it's completely healthy for you to say, absolutely hell no, I am not going to be given the menu of what I get to choose from now, that's the first sign of starting a better second marriage.
Well, yeah, if you're The spouse that has betrayed you is telling you what you can and can't do,
Or how you should or
how you
shouldn't
should.
feel.
Yes,
Mm-mm.
that's an
No,
absolute
no.
heck to the no.
Heck to the no. So you got to change your position, and you have the power to do that. So if that immediately triggers something in you that's like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? It's a mindset. You immediately have to start seeing yourself differently and say, you know what, that day is over. I'm going to stand for what's right. I'm going to stand for what I need, and I will not budge. It's a mindset shift first that matters more than people realize.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing you're going to do, and this is beautiful or brutal, depending on which way you want to hold it. You got to confront the freaking collusion and articulate exactly what you need in regards to repair when it comes to this. And it's like, not only do I want an apology, I want context. And then I want time and space to make my decisions. So
Mhm.
you've changed your position, and then you immediately, into this beautiful person who we've gotten to know a little bit, through this DM, you got to confront that collusion. You are, and here's the first thing about family collusion. So if you're here and you're listening and you've been betrayed and you're getting pressure to now reconnect with your spouse's family again, hear me loud and clear. You are under no obligation to ever be around these people ever again. If you choose to, great, just a bonus. But that is not on you. And people, especially in Christian church context, get this twisted all the time. Forgiveness does not mean friendship. It does not mean relationship. It just means you have released the debt. Forgiveness is about, bye, great, I forgive you. But the notion that you should now feel comfortable, feel safe, or even interested in re-engaging with a family that colluded against you, meaning they knew you were getting cheated on and said nothing. Good to know.
But
Good
then
to-
also made you out to be the villain.
We'll get there,
Oh
but
my.
good to take a deep breath and know, okay, that's not on me. I'm going to give you some really important keys to this like collusion specific point. Lozzie, fire away. You've got
Yeah.
good ones.
Secure safety first
Right.
before
yeah.
any reintegration. And you do that because betrayal trauma models put immediate safety and stability ahead of reconciliation choices.
We'll say that again. Say it slowly because that's important.
All betrayal trauma research points to immediate safety and stability ahead of reconciliation choices.
Mm.
And that includes safety from anyone who enabled or minimized the betrayal.
Yeah, I think that is.
Because you can't rebuild anything without that safety first. You
No
have
way.
to have safety. And for this woman, she doesn't have that. She's still unsafe in this situation.
Yeah.
This family has made her the villain, and it's like, what is she supposed to do with that? So
Yeah. And it's also, to me, it points to the wrong aim. Like the goal is what? To get the family back together again? You don't have a family. The goal is that woman's safety.
right.
The goal is her health and her healing. And so right away, if you feel pressure to do anything but that, you know that somebody is not safe because it's like they're rushing over you to get back to a family picnic and a picture that makes sense on Instagram. It's like we're not doing this. The second thing you got to do, and this is huge, we have touched on it before, hear me out again, require a facilitated full disclosure. Not drip disclosure. We've talked about this at length. For those of you that are brand new to this game, a disclosure is when there's been an affair and the repentant person hoping for reconciliation sits down with the person betrayed, a therapist, and you do a full disclosure, which is a documented timeline of exactly what you did, when you did it, including the stuff that your partner has no idea about. It is a full disclosure. The alternative to this is what a lot of men hope they can get away with, which is the dribble,
Right.
which is the breadcrumb.
Which is actually more traumatizing because it's
Every
constantly,
single time.
instead of it all happening at the same time in a disclosure, a drip like that, where it's like every other day there's
New
more
trauma,
truth or
new
not,
fear,
that's more
new
trauma.
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like waves and waves of constant getting beaten up and battered by these moments. And so the importance of the disclosure is incredible because it takes it all in one.
Yeah.
And you're able to process that, and you're doing it in a healthy way with a therapist who can then help you through that process after you've heard this information.
Yeah. And my experience with men and both of us sitting down with couples, you hear this a lot from a husband. You don't want to know that. Guess who no longer gets to codependently manage what you can and can't handle,
Right.
and what you know and what you do not want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to know what you need to know. And so a full disclosure with a therapist gives you the right to ask questions that are absolutely crucial. And you cannot go on without this. So we tried desperately to get people to understand, don't wait 4 or 5 months to finally get honest. Like,
Mm-mm.
what are you saving? It's
Right.
better to rip that off right now and see what you got, because it's going to come. So if your wife gets proper healing, she's going to be asking you these questions.
Right.
And if she doesn't, if your wife doesn't ask these questions, you got to ask yourself, why would you even want that for
Well,
her?
then she'll be constantly. What you don't want is you don't want to continually have those questions pop up in your head and memories pop up in your head of what I wonder what happened there or whatever. You want to be able to get it all out so that the betrayed doesn't keep having these questions come up.
Yeah.
And this pain it's like exactly what you said. You just want to get it over with.
Yeah.
Then you know what you can build off of.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't rationalize your wonder.
No.
A lot of people do that. Like, you have to have the right to wonder. You know, I lost the right to ever push back on anything you might wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful premise to hold as the guy who wants to rebuild a better marriage, is to say, like, how many of your wonders can I take off the board? And then here's some hypothetical ones. I don't know if you wonder this, but just in case you did, no.
Well, you did that just yesterday.
Yeah, I do. I still do it.
We're literally 5 years in as of the end of this October, and you still will be like, hey, in case you wondered, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I actually didn't, but thank you. And it's just I think it's great.
You actually said to me, you go, I have a time or two, but it's
Yes.
not prevalent.
Right.
And so, but my point is, that's my posture is, because we got it all out up front, which was our gift, and we had a full everything, we were able to fight through the worst stuff right away and keep that moving, rather than have these giant progressive fights, because there's still stuff hidden.
Yeah.
So that is your right, our friend, to get really clear on that, and then you get to define all the relationships. So this is what that looks like. This is great. I like telling people this. Here's what you get to say to the husband and everybody else. Here's what I will do with your family. Nothing. I don't want them around. I don't want to see them. I don't want them around our kids. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's your call. It's your right. Now, if you do it in a spirit that's very, nasty, like I just did, it's probably not going to go
Yeah.
as well. But my point is, you define it,
Right.
not somebody else. And that's hard for betrayed women, as you know. I don't know what betrayal trauma does. I can never experience that like you have. But there's something about the heart of a woman at times, it seems to me like you have to override this desire to make peace.
Yep.
And you have to go get healthy. And sometimes it feels like these two things are at odds.
Mm-hmm.
But we talk to so many women, like, I just want it to go away. It's like, it's not going to go anywhere.
No, you need to face it.
So you do this with a certified therapist. So schedule that call today. Find a therapeutic full disclosure session, and from that baseline, you get to set some brand new boundaries. Stability is possible. Keep telling yourself that until you feel stable. Keep working.
Yeah.
And then number three, which you just hit on, you got to use a family boundary contract with really, really clear requirements. And this is beautiful. So classic infidelity research says that you stop the affair, you replace the deception with honesty, and you install appropriate boundaries. And these extend to the family that violated your trust. So here are the healthy things you can expect from the colluding family member before resuming normal contact. Lawsy, take it away. So again, let me frame this for you so you get this correctly. After you've changed your position and you have confronted the collusion, now here's what you can rightfully expect as you remake your boundaries. You can expect this from the people who betrayed you, not just your spouse.
An acknowledgement of harm. So what they did.
Yes.
And why they did what they did.
Yes. I'm
That's
sorry,
important.
not good enough.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. A sincere, non-defensive apology and commitment to non-interference in the couple's recovery, which is going to be real hard for this family, I think.
You need to do this. You need to double down on that. I need you to make a commitment to no longer interfere in any way with anything that goes on in our marriage from here on out. And we'll get to why that probably should have happened way before now,
Yeah.
but you're here now, and that's a beautiful part. Next one. This is a good one.
Agreement to avoid triangulation.
So for all intents and purposes, this is back channel communication. This is texting. This is passing information. This is kind of stuff like, you don't get to talk about our business around my back.
Right.
And it's a really healthy boundary to put right away. And then obviously the one I love is a willingness to attend at least one therapist mediated meeting to make sure these commitments are held and they're real.
Mm-hmm.
So, and let me give a couple language ideas and submissions. You can use collusion if the relative was actively aiding in secrecy. If they haven't, then use enabling and maybe minimizing. You don't want to be the person using the wrong terms. Like, you colluded. They colluded if they knew and they didn't tell you. That didn't happen. Perhaps they enabled it. That's still fair to stand on. They minimized it. That's real.
Yep.
But collusion is its own special disease that has to be, immediately. The focus has to go on behavioral repair, not just being nice again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Just be nice. Be nice to my mom and dad. I want to go hang. I know that we're going through our own stuff. Be nice. No. We're going to repair stuff first. Not having it. Lights on. Proud to partner with Plana.org, an organization built to help people deal with the unexpected, from moms trying to give birth by themselves to people handling issues where they don't know where else to turn. Plana.org is a one-stop shop for people who need help. They have an amazing app that's going to become available very soon, but even right now, you can check them out at Plana.org. Get more information about this amazing organization that is fitting and filling a need that is so desperate. Have you ever wondered, where do you turn when X, Y, and Z happens? The unexpected. Plana.org is created to give people hope in the darkest hours. So check them out today, Plana.org. Talk to me, Lazi, about picking the right helpers, because I see you going over this every day with so many people, and you point to the same thing, because picking the right help is huge. So you are obviously becoming extraordinarily well versed in the behavioral trauma world. Why is that such a big deal? Why can't I just go to a regular clinician? Why can't I go just hop online and get a therapist?
Well, it's like taking your car to see the doctor, or like it doesn't make any sense. So you have to go to a specialist that specializes in betrayal trauma, partner betrayal trauma.
Because it does certain things to your brain.
The type of trauma that betrayal does to your system and to your mind is different than any other sort of trauma. And just like someone who's gone to war, they need a special trauma therapist.
They don't need to go to an affair recovery.
Correct.
It wouldn't make any sense.
So it just makes sense to me that you would go. So people who are like, I'm talking to my pastor, or I'm talking to this counselor, but they don't specialize in this type of trauma, then you're wasting your time. They can actually do more damage than they can good. And so you really need to find the right person. And you can ask those questions as well when you're meeting with a therapist. How many people have you helped with partner betrayal trauma?
Right.
How much have you helped with sex therapists, like in sex therapy, all of that stuff? It's okay to ask your therapist what sort of work they've done or what sort of experience they have. There's some really great clinicians out there. I'll give you one place that you can go for resources that has been incredible. It's ASAT, AASAT.org. And that'll give you a list. You can go down and find a therapist. Yeah. And then you can tap down to your actual state. Yeah. And there is specific therapists for all of these issues. And also ones that do what's it called? Lie detector tests. Yes. So not everyone's even specializes in lie detector tests.
You don't want to get one of those on Amazon. You want to go to a professional.
Correct. So all of that is super helpful, but it's so important. I can't say this enough to people. Yeah. If you don't go to the right therapist, you could actually be doing more damage. Yeah. They need to, and you need to ask those questions.
And let me tell, for all my brothers out there, the men that are on the ownership side of trying to make things right, talking directly to you, you're doing yourself a colossal favor by making sure your wife has every tool she needs, and you point her to betrayal trauma. So if anything in your brain's like, why does she need that? Do you want to save yourself time, suspicion, needless work? If you do, then you should guard every other option and say, can I help you find a betrayal trauma therapist? What I did to you has impacted your nervous system in such a unique way. You are worthy of and you deserve particular help for that. And by helping her out, you're helping yourself out too. It's a cool byproduct because now your wife's able to heal, and the rest of your life, if you don't do this, there will be trauma triggers that just so annoying, and they're frustrating, and they slow everything down, and it's not even her fault. But when you started doing this work, I sensed how different you were. I just remember feeling like you were able to look at things and go, that's not about me. I remember you saying that to me sometimes. I'd be like, hey, I went and thinking I was going to get a response from you, and you go, no, that's your work.
Right.
That's that. And there's power in this
Well, and
particular
also-
thread of therapy. And therapy is not everything. It's a huge thing when it comes to this moment.
Yeah. And I think the men need to make sure they're going to the right therapist.
Oh, we'll get to the guys.
But
Trust.
that's a big one as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of men are very hesitant to even do that.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
We'll get there. I mean, we've said on this podcast, I think over 17 million times, that if you are in an affair situation and one of the two people doesn't want to get help, that thing is over.
Yep.
Immediately throw up your hands, get some help, ask God to intervene. Like, we never advocate for people ending anything. And we advocate for people going, don't relent. Like, I've been asking my husband to go to therapy for 10 years, not going. Cool. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
You know why he continues to not go? There's zero consequence. I wouldn't go either. You should go to therapy. You should, for us. Okay.
And he won't go?
No.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do anything about it. So you got to put some consequences on there. Recap: if you were involved with collusion, trying to figure out where to go, you're going to change your position. You're going to confront the collusion. Third thing you're going to do is you're going to use a family boundary contract with clear repair requirements. And then the fourth, maybe the most important, Laura, I'll let you read this one. This is the fourth thing to do if you're in a situation that even remotely touches these factors. Go. Number 4.
Your husband needs to step up in regards to the narrative that you are the problem.
Ooh, you like this one.
I absolutely do. Plain and simple. He needs to make his choice. He's married to you, not his family.
Okay, well, this is probably worth some extra teaching because apparently this is still something that is a bit lost. So let me just give you an option to think. And maybe you should have checked this out before. Now you have an opportunity to check it out now. When a man gets married, he starts his own family. You leave the family that you're in. You start your own.
It's very biblical.
Whoever you allow in is now a part of your new circle. But we tell our daughters this all the time. You're not joining our family. It's not like you and your husband, I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to make room for this guy. If we like you. No, it's a privilege for me and Laura someday to maybe be allowed to join your family unit.
Right.
But we didn't realize how many people got this wrong until we started seeing it with fresh eyes. We're like, oh, this guy's still making room for his mom.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy is still juggling, like, who's the most important woman in his life? Like, isn't my mom supposed to be around? No, she isn't. If your mom is still the most important woman in your life and you're married, my brother, let's take some reflection time because something is wrong. So to be clear, it's not a right where a family gets to be a part of your new marriage. So I think this is a huge deal. So your husband has made his choice. He started his family with you. And I think it's the husband's job to freaking set the story straight. Like, it is not your job, betrayed spouse, to defend yourself to anybody.
Absolutely.
It's a very fair expectation that this guy, the least you can do is go to war with the nuclear family. You can't control every narrative, but it is your job. If there are people whispering about your wife and you know you're the problem, it takes an extra kind of cowardice to let that go down.
Yeah, this is the problem, I think, in this situation is that he has allowed this family
Yeah.
there's a real deep rooted issue here
Yeah.
that's not maybe even
Yeah.
the affair part. There's like something really wrong and out
Yeah.
of whack here.
Yeah.
So he needs to definitely be in therapy and doing his work on his family situation.
But if you feel like the people in your family are talking about you,
Yeah.
and your husband's not doing anything about it,
Yeah.
big problem. Big problem.
Oh my gosh, I
Like,
would have a huge problem.
I
with
mean,
that.
I think, and it's also his job to protect your children.
Protect your children,
like-
protect you.
Who gets to tell your kids about what happened is up to you. But when it comes to like me as the man, I'll just use my own situation. It was my job above anybody else's job to sit our kids down and say, hey, just in case some idiot on TikTok or some clown on YouTube does a special about like, this is what happened with me and your mother. I betrayed her.
Right.
She was A, B, C, and D. I did this. It is your dad's fault. So just in case you want to, let's just say there's a misguided loyalty strain where my kids wanted to side with me. It's my job to reject that and say, I can't let you do that.
Right.
It's not right. Or let's just say that there's a overemphasis on me being the problem. I accept that. It doesn't do me any good to say, by the way, your mom was a part of this too. It doesn't work like that, bro. It doesn't. That's not the time for it. You lay on every grenade possible, and the least you can
Protect
do.
your wife.
If you're passionate about having a second marriage that's way better, it begins with doing what you should have done in the first place. I've been there. And it's not easy to do until you do it, and then it's all you do. So that's a big deal. So for the narrative part, if anybody's doing some whispering, it's not even your job to correct it. It really isn't. Move these people, that's your husband's job. So I think biggest thing to remember, love, and this is helpful. I can even feel it as we're talking about it. I think that there's so many factors here that everybody who is in our boat of overcoming this, these threads are not uncommon. And the biggest thing to remember is you are in control, not them.
Right.
So and I love hearing you say this, and you rarely will break out the voice note on your Instagram DMs. I always know when you do what it's about. So Laura will go through her thing, and she'll be like, just what an awesome woman. Oh, it feels like good. And then once in a while, I'll see you hold it up. You'll be like,
There's too many words to say.
Hey, listen, if you're driving the bus for peace and healing, you need to consider. That's a giant red flag, mate. It's
Wow, you're really talking like that?
Well, that's what it sounds like, because our heart goes out to women who are like, how can I get my husband help? Good Lord. If it's genuine, let's just be kind here. Let's just say if he really doesn't know, I'll reserve 1% of grace. Okay, you can maybe
that's when you know you may have
call.
coddled them a little too much.
Might have married the wrong guy. You gotta make it work. No, but it's like you need to, as a man, you need to lead. I don't need my wife checking on how much therapy I'm doing. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh,
Are you
that
going,
would be
hey,
the worst.
hey, honey, are you going to therapy to repair all the damage you did to our marriage and our kids and our future generations if you don't get it right? Yeah, I'm going to go hoop for a little bit. I got golf. I miss my therapy, but I love you. This guy's an idiot. He needs divine intervention. You need to open up your eyes.
Yeah.
And, we have walked this, so we can say with a little bit of confidence that once you embrace it as a man, you can actually start annoying your wife with your health.
Yeah.
I think I stand firmly in that camp.
You definitely do.
I do have a habit of calling you from every single location change, and it is incredibly fun.
This week, for some reason, it was
But
extra.
I'm still holding you to our first month terms of when I was on major parole.
Right.
I had 2 ankle bracelets on me, 4 trackers. And so now I call you even when I switch lanes.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
favorite. Hey, babe, what are you doing? I'm just switching lanes.
No,
Wanted you to know
this
where I
week-
was. You wanted this. This is what you get. You want health. You want transparency. This is what it looks
You
like.
did that this week. Where were you going? You were like, I'm just leaving
The gas station.
the gas station. Oh, and then you call me back. I'm turning into Target.
Can't be too honest.
Okay, bro, I
Hey,
got it.
Hey, you can't have
I'm
it
like,
both
please
ways.
stop calling me.
You can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. You can't demand integrity and then get frustrated with that integrity wrecks your whatever you were
when
doing.
I'm in the middle of things, it's kind of annoying.
Well, hey, can't have it both ways. All that to say, it gets really beautiful.
It's
gets
great.
really clear
Yeah.
because you understand the principle. Although it is fun, I also know that deep down in your soul, you
I love
appreciate
it.
it. It's
I
like
do.
but I do like calling you when I'm changing lanes. That was my favorite one. Like, hey, babe, what are you doing? I'm like, what can I do? I just want you to know I'm changing lanes. I'm merging.
So stupid.
Hey, I'm all in. What are you gonna do about it?
Mm.
You're in control. So we'll end it here. And I like this a lot for anybody that is feeling the weight and the pressure of feeling vilified
Mm.
or feeling like people are talking bad about you. For a second, just close your eyes. If you fully pulled yourself out of that family narrative that isn't true anyway, what truth about you would begin to stand up? And you can, from your angle, laws, I'm sure it's different than mine, but if I did that, if I pulled myself out of all the narratives about me as if they didn't exist, and I looked in the mirror, what came out of me was strength, man of honor, man of integrity. Let me build on that. But I had to remove myself from the narratives about myself.
Mm.
The narrative you tell yourself is the most important. So for the woman, and we have done this countless times, and we like to see, like, who are you though? Who are you outside of that?
Right.
And it takes a while, but when you hear a woman start to say, "Well, I'm brave, I deserve better, I will pursue health," you can see it start to rise. But you
Mhm.
have to first make the decision. Okay, this isn't true. This narrative about me is not true. Let me disconnect from it. Let me re-engage and connect with something that is true. Here's who I am. I'm a woman of God. I'm worthy. I'm protected. I'm fighting for safety, and I'm walking towards health. What kind of decisions does that woman make? Now you're cooking.
Yeah. So good.
Speaks to who you're becoming. That is our plea and our offer of help today for people who are in this situation. And we could sum it up like this. If you are in a situation with collusion and confusion, take control back right away,
Yeah.
one step at a time. And any needs that you have as the listener to this podcast, we love you. We're grateful for you. We're going to do this really frequently. We're working on a live call-in feature. It's going to come out really soon where you're going to be able to call us in real time and be able to answer your question on the spot. And I'm excited about that. But where can they reach us, love? Where does that email go to right now?
Carlandlaura.com.
Is
No. You can write an email to
Email?
hello@carlandlaura.com.
Awesome. And you can DM us.
Yeah, DM as well. I
checking that.
get
And
I get most of those.
okay. Until next time, lights on and
Light
lights off. Deuces.